Let's talk merger.
These were matches made in business heaven. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 business mergers of all time. For this list, we're focusing on the M&A deals where buying parties acquired prominent subsidiaries that helped them enter into a new market and consolidate a leadership position. Though we're considering how big an individual deal was and how strategic the move may have been, we are excluding any mergers that ultimately failed. Our choices won't necessarily be the largest deals in history, but we will be considering unions that remain standing as a single entity today. Number 10. Pfizer plus Pharmacia equals Pfizer Inc. Founded in 1911, the rapidly growing Swedish pharmaceutical company Pharmacia showcased its first demonstration of market power with the purchase of American rivals Upjohn in 1995 and Monsanto less than 5 years later. During that time, Monsanto had been developing the anti-inflammatory drug known as celecoxib, which had been eyed by Pfizer during its final development stages. Beaten to the punch by Pharmacia, the American Pfizer announced a purchasing deal of Pharmacia as a whole in July 2002, with a transaction tag of $60 billion US. Less than 7 years later, Pfizer would agree to purchase rival Wyeth for approximately $68 billion. Today, Pfizer Inc. is worth more than twice as much at $172 billion US dollars. Number 9. Royal Dutch Petroleum plus Shell Transport and Trading equals Royal Dutch Shell. Originally two separate entities from entirely different industries, the merge of the oil transporting company that was Shell and the Royal Dutch Petroleum Company was provoked to compete against the market's monarch John D. Rockefeller and his leading Standard Oil company. The newly merged Royal Dutch Shell Group then quickly expanded to every emerging subfield in the industry, with more recent investments in renewable energy and power generation garnering massive public support and continued competitive profits. Despite a drop in sales in the last few years, Royal Dutch Shell stands as the fourth largest company in the world in terms of revenue and announced an agreement to purchase major British competitor BG Group for $70 billion US dollars. Number 8. AT&T Inc. plus Bell South Corporation equals AT&T.
With Southwestern Bell, you got great connection.
Originally Southwestern Bell, the company that was later renamed SBC Communications, made its first major mark with the purchase of former parent AT&T, adding Inc. as its new corporate surname in 2005. Its next target was former sort-of sibling rival Bell South, the last of 7 regional Bell operating companies that emerged from the original AT&T's forced separation of subsidiaries following a lost antitrust lawsuit in 1982. The cost, $86 billion US dollars. Today, the newly reformed AT&T stands as the second largest mobile phone provider in the US, with its multiple subsidiaries garnering new users through stronger contract deals and new marketing tactics, particularly by claiming to carry the strongest 4G signal of any of its competitors.
For the best coverage, switch to AT&T. More bars in more places.
Number 7. British Petroleum plus Amoco equals BP plc. Originally part of Rockefeller's Standard Oil, Amoco garnered much of its initial success due to their significant contributions to the Allied forces' gas demands in the last Great War. Putting out industry innovations such as the modern gasoline tanker and drive-through filling stations made it an attractive firm for purchase by supermajor British Petroleum. Announcing a merge in 1998, it was the world's largest in its market at the time, with a transaction value of almost $50 billion US. Despite its massive losses following the Deepwater Horizon oil spill controversy, BP continues to stand as one of the top 10 largest oil companies in the world, with assets totaling $285 billion and with revenue streams as high as $350 billion. Number 6. Facebook plus Instagram equals Facebook.
You've closed the Instagram acquisition.
Yeah,
Can you talk about it now?
A portmanteau of instant camera and Telegram, the popular photo-sharing service Instagram was launched by developers Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger in October 2010. Virtually an Insta success, the free mobile app gained over 30 million users in less than 2 years, generating the attention of its then 5 times as popular sibling-to-be, Facebook. Acquiring the service for $1 billion US dollars, it marks one of Zuckerberg and Friends' largest disclosed transactions. Since then, Instagram has grown to become one of the company's most popular mobile apps and has been multiplying its amount of active users extensively. That's a ton of stills.
Instagram has 130 million users, so you got to give them the advantage right off the bat. A lot of people using Instagram to share their photos, and now, of course, they're going to be sharing video.
Number 5. Exxon plus Mobil equals Exxon Mobil Corp.
Today, we step on the gas in a brand new vehicle with 0 kilometers on the odometer and over 200 years of experience behind the wheel.
Direct descendants of Rockefeller's Standard Oil, the successor siblings Exxon and Mobil found their way back into each other's arms a little under a century after separation. Yet another merger resulting in part from fear of being purchased by an overseas entity. The earliest talks and negotiations for the company that would emerge as Exxon Mobil began shortly after BP's purchasing of Amoco. Tying the knot in 1999, Exxon Mobil is now dominating its oil and gas rivals in terms of revenue. And coincidentally, aligning with its place on this list is the 5th largest in the world.
We're Exxon Mobil. And powering the world responsibly is our job.
Number 4. Travelers Group plus Citicorp equals Citigroup Inc. The largest merger of its kind, this mega bank was one that showcased the old and the new coming together. The individual entities that were Citicorp and Travelers Group, founded over 150 years apart, had garnered immense success in their own rights prior to merging, with the former at one point being the largest issuer of credit and charge cards in the world.
Citigroup's stocks have hit rock bottom. The company has lost $20 billion so far, and has announced yesterday the layoffs of over 50,000 employees.
Despite some setbacks resulting from the 2007-2008 financial crisis, Citigroup continues to maintain its affluence and power as the 3rd largest bank holding company in the U.S. in terms of assets, and as the world's largest financial services network with 16,000 offices throughout over 140 countries. Number 3. JP Morgan Chase plus Bank One Corp equals JP Morgan Chase & Co. At one point, the 6th largest bank in the U.S., Bank One Corp was the first of many greenback dominions that would be purchased by the millennial newborn that is JP Morgan Chase. After a string of successful mergers on its own, including its consolidation of First Chicago Corp and the National Bank of Detroit, Bank One's buying power had finally dwindled to a point where execs knew that selling would be its next best move. Purchased in 2004, those same properties acquired by Bank One have gone on to contribute to JP Morgan Chase's title as the largest bank in the U.S., with estimated assets exceeding $2.5 trillion. Number 2. Google plus Applied Semantics equals Google. Bringing in nearly a quarter of Google's overall revenue in 2014, the company's decision to purchase algorithm after algorithm-based entity proved not only appropriate, but uber beneficial and profitable.
Do what you love and get paid with AdSense.
Founded in 1998 as Applied Semantics, AdSense was successfully purchased by Google in April 2003 and was further developed along with Google's pre-existing AdWords to create the perfect ad-based machine. It's the reason you see the ads you do after doing 1 or 2 searches on something related to it. While other major subsidiaries such as Android and YouTube obviously play major roles in Google's internet kingdom, AdSense takes the win for bringing in a stronger cash flow than both those names combined, and for being the reason that Google was able to purchase them to begin with. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
All sorts of different channels?
Yeah, a variety of channels. It's, it'll be your local affiliates, cable stations as well, but they have to jump on board, but this is a standard that's coming.
Okay.
We can create value for our shareholders, build a sustainable and profitable business, and fulfill our mission of helping people to do more, feel better, live longer.
We are excited about the future. Join our conversation.
You can always find exactly what you want and make it yours. eBay, your shopping universe.
2 great companies, U.S. Airways and American Airlines,
are coming together to become one world-class airline, the New American.
Number 1. Bell Atlantic plus GTE equals Verizon Communications, Inc. Another one of 7 regional Bell operating companies springing from the original AT&T's dissolution. The company, then known as Bell Atlantic, made a major move by reuniting with sister regional Bell company NYNEX, marking the U.S.'s 2nd largest merger at the time. However, it wasn't until the new millennium and the company's purchase of former parent company's longtime rival GTE that the portmanteau name melding the Latin word for truth and the English word horizon emerged. Hence, Verizon. With multiple subsidiaries now under its command, including its recent purchase of mass media name AOL, Verizon now stands as the United States' largest wireless service provider by subscriber and revenue numbers.
Dad, cool it with the Twitter updates, okay?
I'm sitting on the patio.
I know you're sitting on the patio.
Do you agree with our list? Which corporate come-together do you think dominates the competition? For more cooperative top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
And at the end of the day, we had 40 new useful ideas.